This is going to be my review of the Rabbit, and this is not a sponsored video. This is my true opinion of the device. So I am not a tech reviewer, and I'm just going to try my best to tell you my thoughts and feelings about it, what I've liked about it, what I've disliked about it, and I'll show off some of the use cases that I've been using it for. And there is plenty to like about this device, and there's plenty of things I think it could do a lot better. And I'm just going to try to list it all out for you, and we'll see how this goes. So first, let's talk about the form factor. Could this have been an app? Maybe. I don't think so, actually, because the fact that it's a standalone device makes it kind of personal, kind of special, and I actually like this form factor a lot. And of course, if it's just an app, then you have to build it within the Apple ecosystem or within the Android ecosystem, and then you're highly limited in what you can do. But let's actually talk about the hardware for a second, because that's the thing that I think they nailed more than anything else. This is gorgeous. Of course, this is a subjective opinion, but I think this device is absolutely gorgeous. The screen is high resolution, but simple. It feels really solid in the hand. It was actually a lot smaller and a lot lighter than I thought it would be. So it easily fits inside my hand. I have a decently sized hand, and you could see how easily it fits in there right now. And the build quality is tremendous. That was really impressive in my mind. Now, a reminder, Teenage Engineering, the company behind a plethora of audio products that are also absolutely gorgeous, created the design for this. But it's not only enough to create the design, you actually have to execute on the hardware and build great hardware, and that is what we're seeing here. The buttons are very clicky, they feel very solid. The scroll wheel has an incredible feeling to it. It feels very solid. It has a lot of friction as you're pushing it, like in a good way friction. It's not just some loose button that you can like flick. And you could do it from the front and from the back right here. It has the speaker right here, and it has the camera right here. So the camera can be accessed on both sides. When you go into view mode, the camera, I will show you. So I'll double click, and you can see the camera spun up right there. So that's what the camera looks like, just like that. I love the color. I love the feel of the device. It feels super fun to hold in your hand. It feels really solid. They absolutely nailed the hardware. On the side over here, we have a USB-C where you charge it. And then right here is your SIM card slot. So if you want to insert a SIM card and you want to be able to get mobile service anywhere, you can easily insert your SIM card right there. On this side, you have a simple single gray button and then the scroll wheel. These are the only two physical input devices. The other input device, the main input device, is your voice. It feels fantastic. I cannot stress that enough. This device is so well made, and for $200, it's just very, very impressive. It has Wi-Fi, it has Bluetooth, and it has cell service. But there is one thing I want to mention on the hardware front, the battery. It is not great, I'll be honest. I turned off mobile service, especially when I'm at home, because it seemed like it was draining the battery incredibly quickly. If I just leave the device completely off, and I just leave it kind of in sleep mode on my desk, it loses about 1% of the battery every 5 to 10 minutes, which seems like a lot to me when I'm not using it at all. Maybe I got a slightly defective battery, but that is a big problem in my mind. But it charges also really, really quickly, which is nice. It can basically charge to full in under an hour. Now, this is what the main screen looks like. It tells you the battery, the percentage, the time, and it gives you that little floating rabbit icon, which I think is gorgeous. When you hold down the gray button on the side, the ears pop up like it's listening, and you could ask it anything. What's today's date?
Today's date is April 23rd, 2024.
How do I create the game Snake in Python?
Let me see what I can find. To create the game Snake in Python, you can follow these steps. 1. Define the game's basic components, such as the snake, food, and the game window. 2. Implement the snake's movement using keyboard inputs. 3. Handle collisions with the game boundaries and the snake's own body.
I'll stop it there, but you could see it's basically the world's knowledge in your palm. It's really nice. I think the thing that was also really surprising to me was how fast the responses come through. It's just a few seconds, if that, maximum a few seconds. Really, it's usually coming in like 2 seconds when you ask a question. Let me give you another demo. How have the reviews been of the new movie Civil War? And I'll put the audio right here.
Civil War, directed by Alex Garland and starring Kirsten Dunst, has received mixed reviews from critics. While some have praised its dystopian vision and thought-provoking themes, others have criticized its lack of focus, thin characterization, and over-reliance on spectacle. The film is set in a near-future disunion of the
Okay.
United States.
So the point is, it goes really, really fast. And of course, you can not only use voice, but it also has vision as well. So let me show you how vision works. You simply double tap the gray button on the side. It opens up the camera. Then you hold it down again while you're looking at something and you can ask it questions. So let's give it a try. I have a little CPU right here. Let's see if it can identify what that is. What is this?
This is a computer processor chip, or CPU, central processing unit, that appears to be held in the person's hand. The chip has a green square component and is surrounded by small metallic connections, which are typical.
Perfect. I am really, really impressed by the speed of response. And looking at the AI pin, a lot of people were complaining about how slow it was. I know that was one thing that they got absolutely slammed on, and I'm glad that Rabbit figured out the speed. It also has a bunch of really interesting user input choices. So for example, if I simply shake it, it goes into the settings, and you can see all of the settings right here. We have brightness, volume, Bluetooth, network security, power off, terminal, about compliance, etc. And then even within that, you see where it says brightness hold. You simply hold down this button on the side, and then you could scroll up, increase the brightness, scroll down, decrease the brightness. So it really has some pretty unique user input. Now, one thing that I've noticed is it's a little bit slow to scroll. So I'm going to scroll it from the back because the scroll wheel works from the front and the back. But let's try. So I'm pushing the scroll wheel quite a bit to get all the way down. I would have liked it to be just a little bit faster, but that could probably be updated in a setting later. And speaking of hardware, I know I said a lot of good things about the hardware, except for the battery. The speaker is okay. The speaker for voice, when it's actually talking to you, is great, but if you're listening to music, it's not as good. The good thing is it does have Bluetooth, so you can easily listen to music by throwing on headphones or earpods or anything else, and it syncs with any Bluetooth device really easily. Thank you to Careerist for sponsoring this video. You've heard me talk about Careerist before. They are the go-to online training platform for anybody who wants to get into tech or coding and doesn't have the background. By taking the first step now, you could be transitioning into a fully remote role by the end of the summer in tech. For example, manual quality assurance for software engineering. This field offers a really cool opportunity to get into the tech industry. Manual QA is an essential role at most tech companies that allows them to make sure that their software is bug-free and high quality. And so the demand for these jobs is only increasing. Especially as AI writes more and more code, the need for QAing is going to increase as well. And QA jobs offer a variety of growth opportunities, and you get to work on a variety of cool projects. And again, just because you don't have that experience now, that's literally what Careerist is for. So you can get trained up in this, and it is a stepping stone to the rest of your career. Careerist Manual QA course can be completed in 15 weeks with personalized guidance from experienced coaches. So take the first step towards a successful tech career by following the links in the description for Careerist. I highly recommend it. I'll drop all of the links in the description below. Or you can use my promo code Matthew Berman to receive a special $600 discount on their course, plus a money back guarantee. So don't miss out, invest in yourself, invest in your future, and join the ranks of successful tech specialists with Careerist Manual QA course. And thanks again for Careerist to sponsoring this video. Now, back to the video. Now, let me talk about setup for a second because that was a mixed bag. When I got the device, the first thing that it has you do is set up an account through what is called Rabbit Hole, which is their kind of online cloud portal. And this is what Rabbit Hole looks like. So it gives you your journal. That's kind of the main interface. And if I hover over any of these, you could see all the different journal entries. Anytime that I've used Vision, anytime that I've asked questions, all come right here. So it has a history of everything you've done, which is really nice. But for the setup, you actually go into connections, and there's only 4 options right now, but I'm hoping they'll add more later. I've added music through Spotify, and I've also added food through DoorDash. I don't really use Uber, but you could easily do that if you want. And then you could also have Midjourney, but it does require a paid account, which I do not have. So how do these services actually work? Now, remember, the way that the Rabbit device works is it's not connected through an API. You are literally giving AI agents the ability to click through an app on your behalf to do different things in those apps. So remember, the Rabbit runs on Android operating system. So it basically installs Spotify for you and then it clicks through it. So again, it's not API based at all. And Spotify works incredibly well. Very easy. Watch. Play Daft Punk.
Getting the music going now.
So I think I actually have to cover up the music so I don't get a copyright strike, but it definitely played and you can see the cover art right here. So it is very fast. It is very easy to use. Now, food ordering through DoorDash is not easy. I actually have not figured out really how to do it. So let me show you what I've tried to do and where I've gotten stuck. Put together an order for sushi.
Let's hop to it. Something carroty, perhaps? DoorDash may take a while to load on Rabbit OS and may not be available in all regions.
So it immediately tells you that it's going to be slow to load, and it is slow. It is very slow. Look how long it takes to load DoorDash. Usually it takes about 30 seconds, if not more. So it's effectively unusable. And once we actually get it loaded up, then I'm going to show you how to actually order stuff, and it's going to seem even more backwards. I think there's either something that I'm missing with how to do it, or maybe it's just not that great right now. So there we go. Finally loaded up. We have an order right there, but I don't know if I'm supposed to click through this now or am I supposed to talk through it. So let's try talking through it. So as soon as I hold down that button, it basically quits out and now I have to start over again. So now it's getting messed up. So now it's trying to load DoorDash again. It basically, if you try to do anything with your voice after DoorDash is loaded, it just quits and starts over. Okay, so here we go. Now, instead of using my voice, I'm just going to use the click. So click, loading the menu. And at this point, why would I use the Rabbit device over my DoorDash app? It is so much easier to use the DoorDash app. What would be incredible is if I could use my voice and just say something like, put together an order for me for 4 people for sushi. And it put together the whole order. It read the order to me. It let me interact with the AI to actually refine the order and then finally order it. There we go. I'll click again. It adds it. And then I just... you just got to scroll through like normal. So I'll put that right there. And then there's the cart at the bottom. I click there, loading cart. So it's a custom user interface for DoorDash. It's super slow, it's unintuitive, and it doesn't work well. And I hate to say that because I know what the potential could be. This is an AI device. This is a natural language device. I just want to use natural language to put together my DoorDash order. So I click checkout, calculating bill. I hope it's not actually going to order it for me in this moment. And you can see it just takes so long. Okay, so there it is. And so yeah, I'm basically doing everything through a dial and a button rather than just using my phone, which seems so much easier. Now, the good thing is to order anything, you do have to enter the password, and entering the password is simple enough. So I'm glad it's asking me to do that. So even from here, I don't even know how to get out of here. So there's definitely some user interface issues where it's just unclear how to use it. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll just restart it. I think I just accidentally placed the order. And I didn't even put in my password, so I'm not sure what's going on, but it's definitely stuck right now. Okay, I clicked again and we seem to have gotten out of here. And so I'm gonna go ahead and double check that I didn't just order some sushi. Okay, it did not order anything for me, which is good. Now, another thing that I would have liked to see is voice control of the actual device itself. Turn the volume up.
Please adjust the volume using the scroll wheel on the R1 device.
So you can't do things like adjust the volume through your voice. Turn off Bluetooth.
You can turn off Bluetooth by accessing the system settings on the R1 device. Shake the device to display the settings menu.
So I don't know why I wouldn't be able to actually control the device with my voice. That seems like a no-brainer to me. Now, I want to go back to the actual hardware itself because, again, I think it's gorgeous, but it is glossy, which means it is a fingerprint magnet. It's easy enough to clean. You just wipe it on your shirt a little bit and it's completely wiped off. So really, it's very beautiful, but it is a fingerprint magnet. All right. So what do I think overall? Few things. One, it's gorgeous. It's a high quality build. It needs some improvement on the battery, but otherwise the hardware is really, really nice. And it feels nice, it's light, it's solid. I could throw it in my pocket and it just fits. The software needs work. I frequently get cannot connect to Rabbit OS warnings. I frequently get it's disconnected from Wi-Fi warnings. And the agent part of it doesn't seem to work all that well right now. I think they still have a lot of work to go. So being able to click through apps, which was really what the large action model, their kind of unique take on the large language model, was all about. It does Spotify incredibly well. So the proof of concept is there, but it doesn't do DoorDash all that well. But I do see this as the future. It's very clear that this can become something truly unique and potentially the companion AI device of the future. Now, for its core use case for me, using it as a knowledge source, it does that incredibly well. It does. It is faster than Siri. It is much better than Siri. In fact, Siri doesn't answer 95% of my questions at all, let alone correctly. So it is accurate, it is up to date, and it is fast. And it is much faster, much faster than doing a Google search and scrolling through 10 blue links and then clicking through to those websites. It is just much faster than that. And you can ask it any question about anything, and it will most likely give you a very good answer. And it's nice because it's conversational. So you can ask a question, you can ask follow-up questions, and it'll have the context of your previous questions. So it is basically like having a cutting-edge AI model with voice only in your hand at any time. So is it worth it? I really like the device. For $199 with no subscription fee, it makes sense for me. Can I recommend it? If you want to be at the cutting edge and get a glimpse at what the future might look like of really devices in general, I could recommend it to you. And if you want to be able to ask questions to AI anywhere you are, really quickly, really easily, then I can recommend this to you. If you want agents to automate things and do things on your behalf, it's not there yet. But I can see the vision that the Rabbit team is going for, and it makes sense, and I'm all for it. So I'm excited for the updates, but as MKBHD says, don't buy a device purely based on the promise of future updates. But as somebody who loves testing out cutting edge devices, cutting edge technology, I'm happy to have it. It's really cool. I'm excited to play around with it. I'm excited to see what updates come for it, and you might too. So let me know what you think. Did you order one? Let me know in the comments. When you receive it, let me know how you like it. I'm gonna create a few more videos about it, and we're gonna see how this progresses and evolves. Congratulations to Rabbit for shipping a hardware device. That is an accomplishment in itself. I give them all the credit for putting their neck out, trying something new, and shipping a real device, not vaporware, that is now in users' hands. So if you liked this video, please consider giving a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.